The Taming of the Shrew is often adapted, transformed. It's been being adapted. It's been adapted or had spin-offs almost its entire career. Shakespeare's version isn't even the first version published. As I said in my last video, there's an earlier published version from 1594. This play doesn't come out until 1623, 7 years after Shakespeare's dead. It comes out in the big commemorative volume of all his plays together, the so-called Folio of 1623. Now, there's a lot of debate and a lot of controversy about Catherine, whether she is consenting to this marriage or not. There are two ways that people kind of make her seem to be very positive about this. One is just through performance choices, by ironizing some things. Haha, it's all in fun. She seems to be enjoying it. By adding non-verbal, by the actor in Shakespeare's day, actress today, the performer performing Kate does certain non-verbal things to communicate to the audience, usually that she really is into Petruchio and would really love this, and that she's having a good time, that she is not a victim, that she is an independent person who's choosing this. Maybe so, maybe not. Other way people change this is make Kate kind of a participant rather than a passive victim, someone who has this done to her, is by changing it. So, one of the things that's very attractive about this couple, Katherine and Petruchio's first scene together, the wooing scene with all the punning, where they're capping off each other's lines, this seems charming to people. Maybe it deserves its own short video. This seems charming to people. It's witty. It's word play. Oh, it's like screwball comedy. We think of them like all those characters, those heterosexual characters, those couples who hate each other at first sight, but all the insults is really just foreplay for them to get a room. This reading turns them into Benedict and Beatrice from Much Ado About Nothing, the next play on our list. And for what it's worth, though, it's not clear that one might say, well, no, Beatrice and Benedict come later. They're a different pair of characters. On the other hand, a lot of what's happening in Acts 3 and 4 doesn't seem as romantic at all. The whole bit about not allowing her to eat or sleep, not beating her, but beating everyone around her. And I think we can all see through that one. Oh, he doesn't hit her. He just like wails on everybody in her vicinity till she gets the idea. This is hard to turn into actual romantic comedy. Though for many years, this was performed on stage with Petruchio actually wielding a whip into the 1950s. Ha ha ha, I have a whip. Not making it up, couldn't make it up. Often adaptations keep that flirty Act 1, like seeing the wooing scene with all the puns and my tongue in your tail, ha ha ha, and then leave out the other parts, right? So a teen movie like 10 Things I Hate About You keeps that part, the flirty part we like, and then forgets the whole kind of North Korean torture camp part that is the honeymoon. What Katherine wants, it's a legitimate choice. What enables performers to write in through their nonverbal choices a bunch of things that aren't on the page is the same thing that keeps it off the page. One thing is beyond debate. This play, the text of this play, the words left to us under Shakespeare's name, do not tell us what Katherine thinks. It is beyond dispute that this play, this version of the play, does not have any aside or soliloquy by the female lead. Katherine does not speak to the audience. She does not speak except to other people. She is always on stage in the fictive world in the play. There are none of those speech acts, which Petruchio gets, where he's allowed to explain to the audience what his actual motivations are. We only see her from the outside. She is not allowed to speak her mind to us directly. She is denied access to the audience. She does not get to tell us what we're thinking. We have to guess. The 1594 version, the earlier version, much worse poetry, very different play. I happen to have a copy here. It's worth noting that in that play, Katherine gets an aside for 3 lines at the end of the wooing scene. And she says, and yet I mean to have him, because I've been an old maid too long, and I'll match him, or else his manhood's good. I'm going to marry him, I want him, but I'm also going to give him a hard time. Okay, she spells out for the audience exactly how to take this, that she's complicit, that she's playing along, she's having a good time, and she's going to give him a hard time. It's a contest of wills, but she is playing this game. We often try to read the version we have from Shakespeare that way. Is often performed that way. I would point out Shakespeare has the easy out of giving us a line like that, and he doesn't. He chooses not to. It is actually one of Shakespeare's characteristic moves when he's adapting something, and he does it in many of the tragedies, to take a character who has a fairly simple on-the-nose motivation and to take that away, to drop it out, to turn the character into a more mysterious and complicated character by taking out the obvious plot-driven motivation. He does this to Lear, he does this to Iago, he does this to Hamlet, he does this to Katherine. But Katherine's not a tragic character, or is she? The one thing we cannot deny, you can try to argue for the pro-Katherine's enjoying it, ha 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 ha, we can try to do that reading. You can try to argue hell to the no on that. What you cannot argue is that there's any explicit language in this play that lets us tell her what she's thinking. This character is not allowed